Because these people knew they were taking us to an unfinished house, right? No roof, no door, no window, no tile floor, no furniture, no fixtures, and are asking you for $250,000 upfront to rent, and they will finish it by 3 weeks time. Now that is a total red flag.
So you're thinking of moving to a foreign country and you're thinking, I want to rent a nice luxury place, or I want to buy this property. In this video, we're going to be breaking down red flags you need to consider when doing so based on our own experience. Welcome guys, my name is AP.
And I'm Queen Joe.
So guys, if you're new to this channel, please subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and I'm sure you guys gonna love this video because it's from our own experience and we just wanted to give you guys an heads up if you are on this journey as we are. So Queen.
Yeah, so we're speaking from our experience, guys,
Yes,
and
so that's
nobody else.
Okay.
So these views are only our views.
Our views.
Yes.
All right. So what's the first thing?
All right, so the first thing on our list is basically like investigating the owner / agent / property manager, business owner, whatever it is.
So from our experience though, how does one go about doing that? Like from our experience, based on what happened to us, we would say.
All right. In this case, I will say it's gonna be a bit tricky because it's not like the US or Jamaica where you can just log online and you can say, let me see the different persons. I mean, there are companies here that do offer rental places, and there are agents here that do assist people with rentals. However, it doesn't have like a structured system where you can go and find these persons all the time. To investigate, when I say investigate, I mean like get to know the persons, have a relationship where you can tell if that person is gonna look out for you should in case something should happen at the property. You understand? I mean, we're not saying the persons are gonna just, we call it I don't know.
Tough for years.
Yeah, but at least you want to ensure that where you're going, the persons are gonna
the legitimate person as well.
Right, will be legitimate.
Yes.
You know, so if anything can happen, you can rely.
You can report that person.
Right, right.
Like in our case, guys, I mean, we have several rental experiences where we thought we took the time to get to know the person, but unfortunately, we were wrong about that in terms of like us getting to know the person.
Sorry.
Let's go back to the first experience that we have. We rented a house, right?
Yeah.
And in the process of renting the house, we just wanted a place to live. We just got to the Gambia. We didn't have much money, but we did our job and we make some money from affiliate marketing, and we saw this nice house, right?
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, we want to rent this house. We did not take the time to get to know the landlord and their family. We went to their house, but only to pay them. And we didn't really take the time to get to know if these people are people that we can trust. What happens if they have a bad day? What happened to previous renters before? You know, was it a good experience for them? Was it bad? We don't know anything. There was no history, as Jody said.
Right.
There's nothing online that you can click and see anything, right?
Yeah.
So we paid the money over. When we paid the money over, we were living there nice. Everything was good. And it was like what? Halfway.
Yeah, half, because we rented for 6 months.
Yes.
So by the 3rd month, we were having issues.
The 3rd month, it was crazy. It was nighttime, like, you know, people want to come to your house at night, want to put additional items in your place.
Even when you decline and you said, no, you don't need that item.
And it's like, oh, the contract says.
Yeah.
And it's like, it was a nightmare. And that all happened because I believe we did not do our due diligence in terms of, you know, checking out that person or checking out the house, ask questions.
Right. And then we rented through an agent as well, and that agent wasn't forthcoming in some instances, but he was helpful in the beginning, you know, so we give thanks for that. And I mean, we give thanks for the 3 months at least in that house that we spent, you know, peacefully. And
nice day.
And we were really looking forward to having a good relationship with the owner. I mean, from my understanding, based on when I look back at things or my reflection, I don't think that was the direct owner of the property. The person that we paid was a direct owner. I think there was another owner involved. There was an owner involved that we weren't seeing, and that person was standing in the gap. So these are things that you would have to look out for.
Yeah, you have to look out for these things and make sure that you have your right information, especially. I know it's going to be tricky.
Yeah.
Because you're going into a
territory that you don't
foreign
know.
country. And it's like, I'm trying to get you to come in frame with me, Jody. She's like this. She's like, let me move on. It's like, okay. So, it's...
I think it's the whole, the cheerish position.
You want to just do this thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like... you're going to a foreign country, so you really don't. Oh, that's very nice.
Okay.
You're going to a foreign country, so you don't really know as much as you would like to know.
Yeah.
So it's kind of difficult, but it's possible. It's doable. So we have multiple experience where we didn't do our due diligence, and it really backfired. The first one, we lost all of our money because they didn't refund it.
Well, half.
All of the last part of the
right, we lost 3 months rent.
Yeah, basically unsecured deposit. And we went to the last house that we were staying, and the same thing happened. You know, so sometimes the landlords, you will know the personal landlords, but they're not honest either. And then if something happened and you want to move, you're gonna have to fight them back for your rent, and that's just something that you have to deal with. I don't know about everywhere else, but I can tell you about the Gambia. That's something that is happening frequently.
Right.
So watch out for that. That's why it's good.
And I think this is like similar to, well, in the last rental case, well, the third rental case, because we're still renting now, and we're having a great experience where we are. You know, we have what you call it. It's like it's basically like a tenement uptown yardish, but it's cool. It's an apartment, guys. So we have more than one of us here on the apartment, which makes you feel a bit more safe. Because.
But I like my peace and quiet though. I mean, really like.
I know, but it's a little bit more safe, especially that. The previous rental that we had, it was just us alone. There was no security personnel there. It was just us, me and AP, and I think persons who were within the area they were like scouting, or they were observing that we were the only ones there, and
become a target.
That area was mostly Mandinka spoken area. So the language was mostly Mandinka, so we never fully understand the language, and I think that would have been that also they recognized that and took that as an advantage, I believe. Yeah. So we didn't have much of a great experience. Like going in, it was like the third month again, but this time it was in the initial. I wouldn't say it was the landlords. If we didn't have that experience particular, we would have finished our rent and it would have been okay. But because of that experience. You want to say? Or?
Yeah, it was a bad experience in terms of that, and the landlord did not refund us our money. Shout out to him anywhere he is. I hope that money is taking care of you and your family. Yeah? Alright, shout out to you. That's a red flag that we didn't look at, guys. But
I think,
the next thing that I wanted to add is research your environment, like research the area, because that's something that we didn't do.
Yeah.
In that sense, we didn't really take the time to check around. We drove around the area and we walked, but we didn't really did any in-depth research. And as you just mentioned, the language barrier was a problem,
right? Because
conversating with people would have proven futile in terms of talking, because we speak English mostly, and everybody speak local language, and we only know small Alaf, and it was Mandinka, so it was kind of tough for us.
Right. And I think when we talk about also researching the area AP, one of the things, I think from the beginning we did have a concern that was a security concern. And we were, based on our discussion with the owner at the time, he convinced us that he was gonna work on that aspect of it. The walls were high enough, but they still needed something in addition to that.
Yes.
Because when we observed the walls, it could have been an easy hit down for somebody. It was shaking. The walls were shaking. The back door wasn't
Yeah, it was.
So we checked, we looked, and we were like, we either need a security camera or we need the fencing to go up. And he did agree that he would do that. But to be honest with you, it was when the event took place, after the event took place, that the security camera went up.
After we were out.
Right, after we decided, no, we're not gonna stay because we don't, based on other experiences that persons say they had and we saw for ourselves, we said, you know what, we don't know what will happen next.
Yeah.
So just for our peace of mind and safety, let's just leave. And that's where we went to.
Yeah, that apartment. But also you just mentioned something that I want to touch on from that, is that we didn't inspect the house fully. I mean, we did, but we ignore what we saw when we inspected.
Yeah.
And that is something that you should never do when you're going into a new home, especially in a foreign country or a place that you have never grew up, you don't know the language. We didn't inspect enough the house to see how things are. If there was somebody, because sometimes when you go to some house, you will see somewhere broke, somebody was trying to force their way into it.
Yeah, we saw that as well.
That was there.
Guys, I mean, as we said, we didn't do our due diligence, and in our way, we do take responsibility for that, because we're responsible persons. And when we say inspect and research, check the doors, check the handles, see if there was any forcement before. You understand what I mean? Because these were things that we saw. We went in, we saw broken off handles. We saw, doors couldn't close with key lock and anything like that. And we were like, but the owner told us at the time that, it was a previous renter who damaged the items and damaged the house, and that is why.
Yeah.
But now when these incidents occur with us, we kind of start thinking now, really, was it really the renters? Or was it really something else that took place and the renters left the house because that was the issue,
Yeah, that is true. Absolutely.
And so now that based on what happened with us in that rental house, we just concluded that that was a similar case for someone else. Yeah.
Because what I realized as well at the time, and guys, if you remember, we're a young couple as well, and we're just excited to go out in that area and feel safe and feel secure. And then
it was peaceful.
It was peaceful for some time. I mean, especially at nights, looking up at the stars, it was nice. But at the time, we weren't aware. So we're just sharing this information to make sure that you are not caught up in the same situation.
Exactly. So
outside of a legitimate agency or property manager. And also, if you are watching to this far, make sure you give the video a thumbs up. And thank you guys for watching this far. Another thing that I wish we did, I wish we paid attention to the agreement a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because what happened, it was rushed. For example, the landlord at the time, or the owner, was, I'm going to fly out, I'm going to leave the country. If you guys want it, you're going to come and sign. We did read, but we didn't take the time to properly read.
Peruse,
to understand. Yeah, we're twin, right? We're twins. To understand what we're actually signing. And I think that's another red flag. If you're getting rushed to sign something, sign, now. Don't ever do that, because when you do stuff like that, once it's done, it's done.
Yeah.
You cannot undo it. Once it's done and you pay your money, it's finished. You can just forget about refund. That will never happen.
Right.
And so once you inspect your agreement, you're supposed to make sure that whatever is in the agreement is going to be in your favor.
Right.
And that it's going to protect you and your investment. As renting a house, to me, is an investment. Not all investment give you a monetary return.
True.
Maybe it's peace of mind, or whatever you seek as value to you, and you invest in it. That's an investment, right?
All right.
So an agreement, make sure you check your agreement. That's something that we didn't do. And the last thing I wanted to talk about on this, I added there for a reason.
What, negotiation?
Yeah, negotiate the price, because
In some cases, yeah,
you can tell when that time is right. You don't go to certain places and do that though, because once you walk in, you will see what they're asking you for is actually the value of what they're asking you for. And guys, because we're in the real estate industry, we've seen how builders, like the effort that they have to put into their property to make it what you see, and the amount of money that they have invested in the property. So
it's only fair that some of them really do ask, and to be some of them really ask for a fair price. AP, and as I said, persons will know when that time is when they need to do the negotiations.
Yes,
because okay, so let's give you guys a scenario. When we first came, before we even start renting our own space, we had the experience of going, because we were checking out rental properties, right? So we went to this location. I think it was in Brusupi.
I don't remember. You have to tell me more about the story there.
It's either near Brusupi, Kersering, somewhere thereabout. And we went to see this 3-bedroom. It was supposed to be 3-bedroom house for
Kololi. It's Kololi
for rent. Guys, you know, once you reach that place, you don't need to tarry. You understand?
You don't need to stay.
You don't need to stay. You just need to just go, because these people knew they were taking us to an unfinished house, right? No roof, no door, no window, no tile floor, no furniture, no fixtures, and are asking you for $250,000 upfront to rent. And they will finish it by 3 weeks' time. Now, that is a total red flag.
Listen to me. I was like, yo, Jody, let's pay down on this house right now.
Yeah, like seriously, AP.
It's going to be brand new now.
He was like, let us go. No, seriously, you don't need to waste your time right there. Because we're in 3 weeks' time, they're going to finish the house, furnish it, and make sure so you have a safe place to live.
Yeah, and also, you know, that's something that is major that you have to look out for. Like, if pay me now, I'll fix this, and then no, sometimes that is not good. I think it's fair for a client to get a house that is in good condition. When you're paying, it should be ready for me to move inside. I shouldn't have to wait 2 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever. So these are red flags, and there are red flags that I wish we knew about before.
Yeah, so. I don't think we didn't know about some of them before.
We didn't what?
But I think we were just leaving things up to, I don't know. We just, it's kind of tricky, guys, because it's a new environment. You're just getting used to the place, and you're gonna rely on people that you trust or believe is gonna be of help to you in some way.
That's true.
So for most persons, when they come here, they find a sister or a brother, and that sister, our auntie, or uncle, nephew, wherever, niece, and it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna help you to find a rental space. I'm gonna help you to do this, help you to do that, and you trust that person. You know, and you don't expect them to break that trust. In some cases that do happen. In some cases, you really will find somebody that you can really trust. They will give you their word, and that's it. You understand?
That is
true. They will give you your word over the money, right? And it's gonna be hard to find, because a lot of people. It's not like that, but for the most part, we've had a great experience.
Yeah.
You know, it's not it's not anything that we would say, oh my gosh, our life.
Let me leave.
You understand?
Yeah.
So even though we didn't get to stay in those rentals for the complete term that we had paid for, we still had a first 3 months experience, you know, and shout out to our Gambian brother that allowed us to stay at his property when we had that first incident, and we needed somewhere to stay.
Yeah, shout out to you.
Yeah.
And shout out to our, I would say, African brother, because we're all Africans, so Gambians are wherever, we're all Africans.
Yeah.
I want to say shout out to our brother. You don't know yourself who, what you call this now, he stepped forward to make sure that we have a place to stay on the last incident.
Right.
We're gonna talk more about later, maybe in another video, about what actually happened. why we move away from that place in the first place. But shout out to our brother who like, yo, you guys stay here. Anything we want light, we want food, we want anything. He just buy it out of his pocket without us, have to do anything. So I have to shout out to him.
Yeah.
And guys, it's not easy, but if you are committed, then you will find happiness, I would say. So
I say so. I believe, these are the 5
5 or 6.
No, it's 5.
Yeah, red flags that we from our experience.
Right. If you see any other red flags, guys, that you think we've missed out and you would want us to discuss more on, you can share that. But I think these are the 5 main ones that you really need to look out for.
Yeah. And also, as Jody said, if you have any questions or anything that you want to add it in the comment section. Maybe we'll do a video about that if we have more information on it. And guys, thank you so much for supporting us. Make sure to visit
so much W's, it's just 3 W's. www.rebytes.com.
Rebytes.com.
That's REBYTS.
Very easy to remember. And support the blog. Read it. It's for you. It's information packed.
Yeah.
And you guys will definitely love it. We have some more stuff coming there. And if you are a property owner and you want us to tour your property, visit rebytes.com and send us a message and we'll reach out to you.
That's
Shout
right.
out to everybody that reached out to us with their property, by the way. We can't wait to tour them. And until the next video, guys, you don't know how we do it.
Feet on the ground, working and letting it work
like a star.